use what we call the percent proportion to solve percent problems. Now, the word percent, do we know where those things come from? What does the root word cent mean? Anybody? Not one. 100. So percent literally means for every 100. So percent problems, if we talk about percents, technically the highest number they go to is 100%. So we use that base of 100 in our percent proportions. Now there's two ways of thinking about percent problems. In the word problems, we often see the words is and of. Okay? Those words are going to tell us what the part and what our whole are. So it's like values. So if you're thinking about like 3 out of 4, 3 is the part, 4 is the whole. Is the value, let's start with of. Of represents the whole. So 3% of 50, that's the whole number. And then is represents the part. So we are going to see is and part interchangeably. You are going to see of and whole interchangeably. And then on the right side here, I have my percent on the top, and on the bottom right corner is always going to be filled in with 100. So we are going to be setting up proportions that look just like this, with 100 in the bottom right, is and of, and percent. Now what I'm saying here probably doesn't make a lot of sense, so let's look at letter A. I know that it's going to look like a proportion. So let's start with a fraction equals a fraction. I also know where 100 is going to go, because it goes in the same spot every single time. It goes right there. And now I'm going to read this sentence. It says, what percent of 90 is 54? The question is asking me what percent. The thing that I don't know is going to become my x value. And if I look up here, I can see, okay, percent goes in the top right spot. So that's where I'm going to put an x. Then I look at the next piece. It says of 90. Of is the key word that tells me this represents the whole. And if we look up here, the whole is on the bottom left. Oops. Lastly, it says is 54. I know that represents the part, and that goes in my remaining spot. So it's saying 54 out of 90 is what percent out of 100? That's what we've set up here. Now to solve, we solve it like any other proportion. We're going to cross multiply. So 90 times x is 90x. 54 times 100, 5400. And I'm going to divide. Inverse order of operations, I divide both sides by 90 to get x equals, 60? My question asked me what percent, so I know that my final answer should be a percent. That's that. Questions on that? All right. We're going to do the same thing in letter B. Go ahead and draw your proportion first. Fraction equals a fraction. We know where the 100 is going to go. It's going to go in the bottom right over here. And then I'm going to read the question. 30% of what number is 12.5? What can I fill in this problem? Do we know what my x value is going to be? Or where it's going to be, I should say. Ranson? In the bottom left, it says, of what number? So the of what number, of represents the whole. That's where I know that's going to go. What else can I fill in here? I have 30%. Where does that go, Cody? Over the 100. 12.5, that goes in my last spot. That's the is. So it's saying 12.5 is 30% of what number? And I cross multiply to solve. 30 times x is 30x. 12.5 times 100 is 1250. Divide both sides by 30 to get x equals, what is that number? 41.7. And that's that. Questions? Okay. Look at C. Help me out. What can I fill in to this proportion? What percent of 75 is 84? Read? No? What's the easy one that I can put in there? Cody? Bottom right is always 100. What is my x? Is it going to be the part, the whole, or the percent? Yeah, it's asking what is the percent. What percent? So that's where my x goes. Now, do I have 84 over 75 or do I have 75 over 84? 84 is the is. 75 is the whole, is the of. Cross multiply. I have 75x equals 8400. Divide both sides by 75 to get x equals just about 112. And I know that's a percent. Wait a minute. Miss Lees, you said that percents go up to 100. Why is this one 112? Why is it bigger than 100? Can that be okay? Is that okay that I have it bigger than 100? Why is that the case? Why is that happening? Autumn? 84 is bigger than 75. The part is larger than the whole thing. So in that case, I would get a number that is bigger than 100% there. And that is totally fine. Don't get freaked out if we see something happen like that. Okay, one more like this. I won't torture you for much longer. Letter D. What number is 18% of 24? Help me set this up. I know something goes somewhere. What do I know? What's the easy one? Cody. 100 in the bottom right. What else? What am I looking for, Cody? 18 goes over the 100. I see the 18%. What else? Monica? Yeah, the x is our is. What number is? That's the x value. Of 24, that's the whole. So x over 24. Perfect. Cross multiply. I'm looking at 100x equals whatever 24 times 18 is, 432. Divide everything by 100 to get x equals 4.32. So 4.32 is 18% of 24. Any questions on these? Are we okay if I skip 3 problems? Fantastic news. Go ahead and flip it over. All right, this is what I really care about here is these word problems, because it's one thing to be able to look at a problem like this and set up a percent proportion like that, but it's another thing entirely to look at a word problem and try to dissect it. So remember, we're going to define our variable first. I expect to see the percent proportion set up before you try to solve these things, so don't try to do this without a proportion. I need the proportion part. So in this problem, during the 2015-16 regular season, the Golden State Warriors made history by winning 73 games. Because they played a total of 82 games, what percent of the total games did they win? What am I looking for in this problem? Am I looking for the part, the whole, or the percent? Monica. I'm looking for the percent. It says what percent of the total games did they win? So let's call our variable x, and it represents the percent of games won. I know my percent goes in the top right corner, so that's where I'm going to put it. I also know my 100 goes in the bottom right corner, so that's where I'm going to put that. What else do I fill into this proportion? Read my problem. What else can go into this proportion? Autumn. They won out of a total of 82 games. Remember, our total is going to represent our whole. They won 73 of them. There's my proportion. I cross multiply to solve. 82x equals 7,300. Divide both sides by 82. X equals, oh yeah, I'm not on the right page. X equals 89, just about 89% when we round. Perfect. Ooh. Questions? Can we try B? Give it a shot. If somebody wants to do it, I'll let you do it. All right, so Sarah drew this backwards, so I'm going to switch them, but I accept it. It's fine, it's fine. What was it? 60? Okay, so there's our proportion. We cross multiply, we solve, we get 54,000. Or sorry, not 54,000, 5,400. Any questions on this? Fantastic.